Do you ever get the sense that your adult children are slipping away? You used to talk for hours, but now the conversations barely last 5 minutes. Visits, once a regular joy, are now rare. Have you ever wondered why? What if I told you the problem might be hidden in the words you're using? I'm about to share 5 toxic phrases that parents unknowingly say, phrases that could slowly push their children further away. The thing is, it's not always the big arguments that tear families apart. Sometimes it's the small, seemingly harmless words that build walls. Words you may not even realize are causing damage. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which phrases to avoid, and more importantly, what to replace them with, so you can start rebuilding those precious family bonds before it's too late. Take Eleanor, a 70-year-old mother from Seattle. She spent years raising 3 children, but over time, things started to change. The phone calls became brief, the visits fewer. Eleanor felt like she was losing her children, but she couldn't understand why. It wasn't until a family therapy session with her daughter that she realized the truth. The words she had been using were unknowingly driving her children away. They weren't insults, but small phrases that felt controlling or dismissive to them. Once Eleanor understood the impact of these phrases, she began to change the way she communicated. And in just a few months, Eleanor's children began reaching out again. Calls became longer, visits became regular, and the cold distance that once filled their conversations began to melt away. Eleanor's relationships weren't perfect, but they were healing, slowly but surely. And now I'm sharing those same phrases with you, the ones that could be silently eroding your family relationships. Let's take a closer look at what to stop saying and how to fix what's been broken. Before we start, I would be truly grateful if you could take a moment to like this video. That small gesture helps more people just like you discover these gentle, useful tips. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please feel free to click the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. That way, whenever we share something new, you'll be the first to know, and we'd love to have you with us. Now let's dive in. Toxic phrase number 1. After everything I've done for you. This one often surfaces when we feel unappreciated, doesn't it? That deep parental instinct wanting acknowledgement for years of sacrifice. If you've ever felt that pang of wanting to say this, even if you didn't, type a 1 in the comments below. You're not alone in that feeling. While the feeling is valid, relationship psychologists strongly caution against this phrase. Why, as Dr. Lena Petrova, a specialist in intergenerational communication, explains, it instantly frames the relationship as a transaction. It's like keeping an emotional scoreboard, Dr. Petrova notes. Loving parental care gets twisted into a debt the child can never truly repay. This breeds resentment, pushing them away, rather than fostering the gratitude you likely long for. Consider Arthur, a 7-year-old retired engineer from Denver. He felt hurt that his son didn't visit as often as he'd hoped. During a rare lunch, Arthur let slip, "After everything I provided for your education and upbringing, you'd think a visit once a month wouldn't be too much to ask." His son later confided that these kinds of remarks made him feel perpetually guilty, like he could never measure up, making visits feel like an obligation rather than a joy. Arthur was heartbroken to realize his attempt to express loneliness had the opposite effect. A healthier approach: express your feelings and needs directly without the implied debt. Try, "I've really been missing seeing you lately. Your visits bring me so much joy. Would finding a weekend afternoon for coffee soon work with your schedule?" This communicates your desire clearly and lovingly, inviting connection rather than imposing guilt. Remember, raising children was your choice, a gift freely given. Removing this phrase allows for a relationship built on mutual respect and genuine affection. Toxic phrase number 2. Your spouse or partner is turning you against me. This is the one we flagged earlier. Pay close attention. Family relationship experts universally identify this accusation as relational poison. It's incredibly damaging. This one is the deal breaker. Imagine hearing this from your parent. "You never acted this way until you got married." It's not just an insult, it's a direct attack on your choices and your life partner. When you suggest your child's chosen partner is manipulating them, you're launching a double attack. You're criticizing their spouse and questioning your child's own judgment, loyalty, and autonomy in their primary adult relationship. James Carter, director of the Center for Family Systems, states it plainly. This forces an adult child into an impossible loyalty bind. Choose the parent or choose the partner. It generates immense stress and anxiety. Repeatedly forcing this choice will inevitably erode and can ultimately sever the parent-child bond. Martha, a vibrant 69-year-old grandmother from Portland, learned this painfully. She frequently made comments hinting her daughter-in-law, Chloe, was the reason her son visited less. Things like, "I suppose Chloe has plans for you again this weekend?" Or, "You seemed closer to family before you got married." To Martha, they felt like observations. She didn't grasp that her son felt trapped, hearing these digs at his wife, creating friction at home. The breaking point was a holiday dinner where Martha openly implied Chloe was monopolizing her son's time. That evening, her son tearfully explained they needed significant space. That space lasted nearly 2 years, encompassing missed birthdays and the arrival of a new grandchild. Healing required deep apologies and a conscious shift from Martha to embrace Chloe as family. A healthier approach. Focus on unity and your desire for connection with both of them. Try. "You both mean so much to me, and I cherish our family connection. I'm still learning how best to support your life together. Could we maybe find some regular ways to connect that work well for everyone?" This respects their partnership as the central unit it is and positions you as a supporter, not a divider. Tap the like button if you agree. Respecting our children's partners is crucial for family harmony. Toxic phrase number 3. "In my day, we did things differently," often implying better. This nostalgic phrase seems benign, a simple observation across generations. Yet communication experts point out it often carries a hidden judgment. It subtly sets up a comparison, positioning past methods as superior to modern approaches. As Dr. Evelyn Reed, professor of gerontology studies, notes, frequent references to my day, especially regarding parenting, finances, or lifestyle choices, can unintentionally create distance. It positions the parent as a critic rather than an ally, making the adult child feel judged or defensive. Take Walter, a sharp 75-year-old grandfather from Nashville. He couldn't understand why his daughter bristled when he offered parenting tips. He'd often start with, "In my day, we didn't coddle children so much," or "In my day, a little hard work didn't hurt anyone." Walter genuinely intended to share wisdom. However, his approach made his daughter feel like her parenting choices were constantly being measured and found lacking. After she finally expressed this, Walter began to shift. He started asking about her methods with genuine curiosity. "That's interesting. Tell me more about why that approach is recommended now." The tension eased, and she became more open to occasionally hearing his perspective, offered as experience, not decree. A healthier approach. Offer your experience as an option, not the only right way. Try. "I'm really interested in understanding how you approach the topic. Things have certainly changed. If it's ever helpful, I can share what seemed to work for us back then, just as another perspective." This formulation offers your wisdom respectfully, fostering connection, not correction. Showing you value their judgment makes them far more likely to value yours. Toxic phrase number 4. "You never visit," or "you always forget to call." These absolute statements, using words like never or always, might feel true in moments of loneliness or frustration, but relationship counselors warn they are destructive. Why? They distort reality and immediately put your children on the defensive, trying to disprove the exaggeration. Dr. Michael Chen, a family psychologist, explains, absolute statements like, "you never visit," create a no-win scenario. Even if they visited last week, the parent's statement dismisses that effort. It breeds resentment and anxiety, making future interactions feel like walking on eggshells. Does this sound familiar? Have you heard or felt tempted to use never or always like this? Type 2 in the comments if you recognize this pattern. Consider Clara, a 71-year-old widow in Chicago. She frequently lamented to her daughter, "You never call your poor mother anymore," even when they chatted just days before. Her daughter started dreading calls, anticipating this guilt-inducing opener, feeling that no amount of contact was ever enough. A breakthrough happened when a friend gently suggested Clara keep a simple log of interactions for a week. Clara was genuinely surprised to see several calls, texts, and even a brief pop-in she'd almost forgotten. The issue wasn't total neglect. It was her perception colored by loneliness and perhaps unrealistic expectations. Working with a counselor, Clara learned to acknowledge and appreciate each connection. She started saying things like, "It was so lovely hearing your voice on Tuesday," or, "Thanks for sending that photo. It brightened my whole day." A healthier approach. Express your feelings and needs without blame or exaggeration. Try, "I truly treasure our time together. I've been feeling a bit lonely lately and would love to find a regular time to connect that works well with your busy schedule." What might look possible? This is honest and invites collaboration, acknowledging their complex lives, careers, their own families, responsibilities, while clearly stating your need for connection fosters understanding. Toxic phrase number 5, "You'll regret it when I'm gone." Using our own mortality as emotional leverage might seem like a way to emphasize the importance of family time, but experts universally warn it tragically backfires. This phrase is a heavy mix of guilt, manipulation, and fear that erodes trust. Dr. Samuel Green, a gerontologist specializing in family dynamics, explains, "When elderly parents use their mortality as a veiled threat, they unintentionally create anxiety and even trauma associated with their eventual passing. Instead of motivating more connection, these statements often trigger avoidance, as adult children subconsciously try to escape the emotional weight." Frank, a 79-year-old grandfather from Phoenix, used variations of this. If his children couldn't make a specific event, he might sigh, "Well, enjoy yourselves. Someday I won't be here, and you'll wish you'd made the time." His children began limiting certain interactions, finding the emotional burden unbearable. The dynamic shifted only when his oldest son gathered the courage to explain how these comments made the whole family feel: sad, guilty, and pressured. With guidance, Frank realized he was expressing legitimate fears. Fear of being forgotten, fear of becoming irrelevant, but in a deeply hurtful way. A healthier approach. Focus on the positive value of connection now. Try, "These family moments, big or small, mean the absolute world to me at this stage of life. I truly hope we can create many more warm memories together in the time we have." Type 3 in the comments if you agree that genuine connection thrives on love and shared joy, not obligation or fear. This expresses the deep desire for connection and legacy without manipulation. Quality relationships are built on mutual respect, enjoyment, and understanding. The hidden danger, the hopeful path forward. What makes these 5 phrases particularly tricky is how common and seemingly innocent they can feel. Like Eleanor, most parents using them have zero intention of causing harm. They often believe they're simply expressing valid feelings, concerns, or observations. Yet, as neuroscience confirms, our brains react to these kinds of subtly accusatory or manipulative statements from loved ones similarly to how they react to stress or threat. Over time, this can create an unconscious pattern of avoidance. Not a deliberate rejection, but a self-protective mechanism pulling away from the source of emotional discomfort. But here is the wonderfully empowering news. Recognizing these patterns is the essential first step to changing them. It is absolutely possible to shift communication habits and heal strained connections. Transforming your communication. A simple path. Family therapists often recommend a practical approach. 1. Self-awareness. Tune in. Begin to notice when you feel the urge to use one of these phrases. What's the feeling underneath? Loneliness? Feeling unvalued? Fear? Simply identifying the core emotion is powerful. 2. Pause, breathe before speaking. When you feel that old phrase rising, take a conscious breath. This small pause creates space to choose a different, healthier response. One of the alternatives we discussed. It might feel awkward initially, but practice builds new pathways. 3. Direct expression. Speak your truth kindly. Focus on expressing your feelings and needs directly and calmly, using I statements. Instead of "you never visit," try "I've been feeling lonely and would love to see you." It addresses the same core need without blame. Remember Eleanor? Her journey wasn't instantaneous. Her children were initially cautious, but as she consistently practiced these new ways of speaking, demonstrating respect and expressing needs directly, the walls slowly crumbled. The unexpected suggestion from her daughter for a weekend trip was proof that change is possible, that love can find a way back when communication becomes healthier. It wasn't that they didn't love me, Eleanor reflected wisely. They just couldn't carry the emotional weight of how I used to talk. Building stronger bonds, positive actions, beyond avoiding pitfalls, actively nurture connection. Express appreciation often, notice the good things. Thank them specifically for calls, visits, even small, thoughtful gestures. Focus on what is working. Respect their world. Acknowledge their busy lives, careers, partners, children, friendships. Show genuine interest without demanding you always come first. Make interactions pleasant. Aim to be the parent they want to call or visit, not just the one they feel obligated to check on. Share positive news. Ask about their joys. Listen deeply. Offer support, not control. Be a safe harbor for advice if asked, but respect their right to make their own decisions, even if you choose differently. Be flexible with traditions. While cherishing history, be open to adapting traditions to fit everyone's current lives and needs. Collaborate on creating new meaningful rituals. So now you're equipped with awareness of 5 potentially toxic phrases and, crucially, with positive, practical alternatives to build bridges with your adult children. Remember, dear friends, it is never too late to refine our communication and deepen our connections. Your relationships can grow richer, more authentic, and more meaningful in these later years. It requires conscious effort, humility, and a willingness to adapt, but the rewards are immeasurable. If you recognize yourself in any of these patterns, please don't feel discouraged. Awareness truly is the first, most powerful step toward positive change. Start small today. Choose just one phrase to consciously avoid and one healthier alternative to practice. Your children will notice the shift, even if they don't say so right away. Which of these phrases, or the alternatives, resonated most strongly with you today? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Your insights enrich our community. If you found this conversation helpful, please give this video a thumbs up. It genuinely helps elderly stories reach and support more people like us. And be sure to subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss our